The courthouse stood tall under a gray sky. People rushed in and out with tense faces. A mother held her son's hand tightly. She wore a simple dress, worn at the edges. Her eyes were tired, filled with quiet worry. The boy, only 10, looked up at her. He could see her shaking hands. "It's going to be okay, Mom," he whispered. She forced a smile, hiding her fear. They walked toward the heavy wooden doors. The courtroom was cold and silent. Lawyers shuffled papers. The judge sat high above, stern and distant. The prosecutor smirked confidently. The mother sat down nervously. Her son sat right beside her. Whispers spread across the room. "Why is that boy here?" someone muttered. The bailiff called the case number. The mother took a deep breath. The prosecutor began speaking. His voice was sharp and accusing. "This woman has failed her duties," he declared. Every word stabbed at the mother's heart. She tried to defend herself, but her voice shook too much. Her words tangled under pressure. The prosecutor grew bolder. "She's unfit," he sneered. The judge frowned, taking notes. The boy's hands curled into fists. His heart pounded in his chest. He looked at his mother's trembling form. Something inside him refused to stay silent. He stood up suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. The judge raised an eyebrow. The prosecutor laughed under his breath. "Sit down, boy," someone whispered. But he didn't sit down. The boy lifted his chin. His voice rang clear and strong. "I'm my mom's lawyer today," he said. Gasps filled the courtroom. The judge leaned forward. The prosecutor froze in surprise. The mother's eyes filled with tears. She tried to pull it back down, but the boy stood firm. His small voice carried power. The judge cleared his throat. "What do you mean, son?" The boy met his gaze bravely. "I mean, she doesn't deserve this. She works hard every day. She raised me alone. She taught me right from wrong." His voice shook, but he continued. "She is the strongest person I know." The courtroom fell silent. The mother covered her mouth, crying. Even the bailiff blinked back tears. The prosecutor shifted uncomfortably. The judge rested his chin on his hand. The boy took a deep breath. "She doesn't have money for lawyers, but she has me, and I'll always stand for her." His words echoed in the room. No one dared interrupt. A reporter scribbled furiously in his notebook. A woman in the back whispered, "Wow." The prosecutor coughed nervously. "This is highly irregular," he muttered, but his voice sounded weaker. The judge raised a hand. "Silence," he ordered. All eyes returned to the boy. The boy squeezed his mom's hand. She squeezed back tightly. The judge leaned forward. "Young man, do you know what a lawyer does?" The boy nodded. "They speak the truth. They protect people, and they don't let bullies win." The judge's stern face softened slightly. He looked at the mother. She wiped her eyes, speechless. The room was utterly still. The prosecutor tried again. "This is ridiculous, Your Honor." But his voice lacked conviction. The boy turned to him. "You don't know my mom, but I do. She's not guilty of anything. She's guilty of loving me too much." The prosecutor's face turned red. The judge raised his hand again. "That's enough," the judge said. His voice carried weight. He looked at the mother again, then back at her son. Sometimes truth comes from unexpected voices. He sighed deeply. Case dismissed. Gasps erupted across the courtroom. The mother broke down in tears. The boy hugged her tightly. Reporters rushed forward. Cameras flashed in their faces. The boy buried his head in his mom's arms. "You saved me," she whispered. "No, Mom," he said softly. "You saved me first." The judge left the bench quietly. The prosecutor packed his things, defeated. Strangers clapped softly as they left. A story of courage had been born. By evening, the story hit local news. "Boy defends mom in court," the headline read. People shared the clip online. Comments poured in with support. "This child is braver than most adults." What a powerful voice of truth. A TV station replayed the moment. The boy's words echoed nationwide. Reporters crowded outside their apartment. Neighbors watched in admiration. The mother tucked her son into bed. He looked up at her sleepily. "Did I do okay, Mom?" She brushed his hair gently. "You did more than okay. You saved us both." He smiled softly before drifting off. She sat beside him, wiping tears. For the first time in months, she felt peace. A weight had been lifted. The next morning, neighbors knocked. They brought warm meals and hugs. "We're proud of you," they told the boy. His mother felt a warmth in her chest. Letters arrived in the mail. Strangers wrote messages of love. Some sent small donations. A local lawyer offered free services. "You don't have to fight alone anymore." The mother finally exhaled deeply. A news anchor requested an interview. The boy wore his best shirt. His mother sat nervously beside him. "Why did you speak up?" the anchor asked. The boy answered softly, "Because my mom needed me. She always stands for me. It was my turn to stand for her." The anchor wiped a tear discreetly. The segment went viral overnight. Headlines reached across the country. 10-year-old stuns courtroom. Social media exploded with hashtags. Artists sketched the boy hugging his mom. Teachers shared the story with students. "This is what courage looks like," they said. Activists cited his bravery in speeches. Communities rallied for struggling families. The boy became a symbol of hope. His mother remained humble. Weeks passed peacefully. The mother smiled more often. The boy's confidence grew daily. They laughed together at dinner. She helped him with homework. He helped her with house chores. "We're a team," he reminded her. She kissed his forehead. "Always," she whispered back. Love filled their small home. The mother once worked 2 jobs. She often skipped meals so he could eat. She walked to work in the rain. She stitched his school uniform by hand. Nights were filled with unpaid bills. She cried silently when he slept. She worried about their future. But she never stopped loving him. That love fueled the boy in court. Her sacrifice became his strength. Meanwhile, the judge thought deeply. He replayed the boy's words in his mind. He told his wife about the case. "A child reminded me of true justice." He smiled softly, humbled. He realized law wasn't just rules. It was about humanity too. The boy's courage stayed with him. He decided to handle future cases with more compassion. That single sentence had changed him too. A charity reached out to the mother. They offered her a stable job. "We admire your resilience," they said. She gratefully accepted. The boy received a scholarship. "Education is his right," the sponsor said. His school celebrated him at assembly. Students clapped as he walked to the stage. He felt shy but proud. His mom cried in the audience. Teachers encouraged him daily. "You're a born leader," they said. He started helping classmates with lessons. He joined the debate club. His first speech earned loud applause. He spoke about honesty and bravery. "It's not about size," he said. "It's about speaking truth." Students nodded with respect. His mother beamed with pride. Months later, documentaries featured the case. Families struggling with injustice found hope. Communities donated to legal aid funds. Law schools studied the boy's case. Professors called it the voice of innocence. Activists demanded fairer systems. Politicians mentioned the story in speeches. The mother and son stayed grounded. "We just told the truth," she said. But the world saw more. The mother reconnected with a strange family. They reached out after hearing the news. Apologies were exchanged with tears. She felt a missing piece restored. Her son gained cousins to play with. Holidays became joyful again. Laughter filled the rooms once more. Old wounds began to heal. Love stitched them together again. The boy's act had rippled far. The boy dreamed of being a lawyer. He read books on justice and rights. His mother supported his ambition. She saved every extra penny for his future. "One day, you'll change the world," she said. He grinned, eyes shining. "But I already changed yours," he teased. She laughed through tears. Hope filled their home. Their journey had only begun. Years began to pass. "The boy grew taller." His voice deepened slowly, but his courage never faded. He studied harder than ever. Books filled his small desk. His mother often peeked in. She saw him reading by lamplight. "Don't stay up too late," she reminded. He smiled. "Just one more chapter." High school brought new challenges. He faced bullies who doubted him, but he never lost focus. Teachers saw his determination. They gave him extra opportunities. He joined student council. He defended classmates in meetings. "Fairness matters," he told principals. His reputation for honesty grew. His mom cheered at every milestone. He won debate competitions. Judges praised his sharp logic. He volunteered at legal aid centers. Helping families reminded him of court. "Everyone deserves a voice," he said. His mother kept scrapbooks of articles. Each award was taped on the wall. Their home became a gallery of hope. Strangers still wrote letters of support. His story continued to inspire. He applied to universities. Rejections came at first. He didn't give up. He kept rewriting essays. Finally, an acceptance letter arrived. His mom hugged him tightly. "You're going to law school someday," she said. He promised. "I'll make you proud." Tears rolled down her cheeks. The journey felt worth it. Years later, he entered law school. The campus buzzed with energy. He carried memories of that courtroom. Professors noticed his passion. "You argue like someone twice your age," they said. He studied day and night. He balanced part-time jobs. His mom supported with warm meals. Late nights were tough, but his dream fueled him. After graduation, he became a lawyer. His first client was a single mother. She reminded him of his own mom. He fought fiercely in court. He told her, "You're not alone." The judge listened carefully. He presented facts with compassion. The verdict came in her favor. She cried with relief. He smiled, remembering his past. News outlets remembered his childhood story. The boy who defended his mom is now a lawyer. The headlines spread quickly. Interviews poured in again. He stayed humble. "It all began with one sentence," he said. His mother sat proudly beside him. She still called him "my little lawyer." He laughed every time. Their bond never faded. He opened a small legal aid office. Families lined up for help. He charged nothing to the poor. "Justice isn't only for the rich," he declared. His mother helped with paperwork. She brought tea for waiting clients. They worked as a team again. Word spread across the city. More families found hope. His dream was alive. One day, he received an invitation. The same judge was retiring. He attended the farewell ceremony. The judge recognized him instantly. "You were that boy," the judge said softly. "Yes, sir," he replied. "Because of you, I pursued law." The judge's eyes glistened. "No," he corrected gently. "Because of your mother, you pursued truth." He organized a community event. Families gathered to celebrate her. "This woman is my hero," he said on stage. His mother covered her face, embarrassed. The crowd clapped loudly. Tears streamed down her cheeks. "She gave me everything," he continued, "and I'll spend my life giving back." She hugged him tightly. The moment felt eternal. Years later, his story was taught in schools. Children read about his bravery. Teachers asked students, "What would you do?" His words inspired new generations. His mom lived peacefully in her old age. She often smiled at the scrapbooks. Each page told their journey. The boy who once stood in court had become a man of justice, and his one sentence lived forever. "I'm my mom's lawyer," he had said. It was a child's voice, pure and fearless. That voice broke walls of doubt. That voice carried into history, because truth, spoken boldly, never fades. A mother's love lit the path. A son's courage changed the course. Together, they redefined justice, and their story became legend, passed down from one generation to the next. The mother found peace at last. She knew her sacrifices mattered. The son carried her legacy forward. His office walls held her photo. He often whispered before big cases, "This is for you, Mom." Clients felt his sincerity. He became known as the people's lawyer. No case was too small. No client was ever ignored. Communities trusted him deeply. Leaders respected his voice. He trained young lawyers to be honest. He reminded them, justice is human. His story spread, even across oceans. Documentaries played his childhood clip. Millions cried, hearing his words again. He never sought fame, only fairness. His mother watched quietly from the front row. She always remained his anchor. Time passed, but their bond never broke. He cared for her in her final years. On her last day, she whispered, "You've always been my lawyer." He held her hand, crying, "And you've always been my hero." She passed peacefully, surrounded by love. He carried her lessons forever. The world remembered their story. And one sentence echoed in history, "I'm my mom's lawyer."